Bonafide Hustler here! Bonafide Hustler here! Bonafide Hustler here! Bonafide Hustler here! And today we're going to talk about stuff I found 2 weekends ago, last weekend, and last week. What's up guys, this is Chris the Bonafide Hustler coming to you live from my garage. It's a beautiful evening outside. But anyway, let's see some of the stuff that I found 2 weeks ago, last week, and some of the stuff I found this weekend. Like I said, this is just some of the stuff, and a lot of it's some pretty cool stuff. So, stay tuned if you want to learn some stuff. Anyway, I'll kick it right off. Last weekend was a pretty good weekend. Found some really interesting things, and I don't know if you guys saw my ride-along video, which is hopefully I'm going to interlink it here, that was a lot of fun. But, you know, these weekends are only going to get better and better, so I urge everyone out there to stay in the game and really try hard to get good at it now, because March, April, May is when it's really going to hit big in almost every decent town in America. So, with that being said, let's see some of the stuff that I actually found. Okay, so last week I found some cool BC Alpina. These are a full leather, mint condition. I believe I bought these for like $5. The market value on this is something like $50, and these are actually the cross-country type of ski shoes, as you can see by this little bar right there, okay? So if you ever see shoes with these little bars up here, those are typically cross-country ski shoes. They have some amount of resale. This one I bought strictly because the condition was really good. It's a 38, pretty common size, and the condition is just stellar. So I'll always sink my money into something like this. So I believe it was last week I was just strolling through a Goodwill. $6.99, Tony Lama, two-toned cowboy boots, or I guess should I say cowgirl boots. I'll always swing on this stuff. This stuff does amazing in the antique booth that I have. With that being said, there's also this right here. As you guys and girls may know, I love my Pearl Snap shirts. Now this one right here is not exactly super vintage. It's a Southern thread. These you can find in all kinds of places like Buckle. They're more new school Pearl Snap shirts. You know, at $3, I'll just try to see if I can hustle it. Usually Pearl Snap shirts in my antique booth end up selling anywhere between $15.60 all the way up to about $21.40. So there we go. Pearl Snap shirt. And I don't have to do any work too. Just put it on a hanger and list it, and there it is. Okay, so last week I spent $6. And I also got a bag of this. Now what's in this bag? It looks like Chinese food, right? But it's not. It's even worse. It's a bunch of fart machines. Boom! Fart machines that have a little remote control. I actually did keep one of these, of course. I mean, I got dogs and everything, right? So it makes cool, disgusting fart noises. And I bought a bunch of these. I think like 10 of them for like $6. Market value on these is about anywhere between 10 and 15 for each little fart machine. Pretty cool. Kind of weird, but I had to swing on it. Alright, this past week, going through a thrift store, $7.99, found these wicked awesome Nike Air Structures. These are vintage, they're cool. I mean, just look at that pattern on the side, right? I mean, I showed them to some of my neighbors and they were like, man, that's just like totally Back to the Future 2 type shoes. I like them, they need to be cleaned up a little bit. They fit really nice, but I'm not going to wear them. They are my size though. Size 12s. But pretty cool. I gotta erase that right there. And the best thing when you see prices like this on the bottom of a shoe, for example, I like to use Barkeeper's Friend with water and maybe a little bit of Simple Green. We'll take that out in about 2 seconds. Alright, so as I was hustling yesterday, which is Sunday, I came across this in the thrift store. Now, thanks to the Spokane Pickers, because I watched one of their videos that talked about pencil sharpeners. Pencil sharpeners! They're pretty cool. I bought this one for about $6. Purely experimenting, but I did watch that video. I'll try to link their entire channel down below, or maybe over here where my finger is. But either way, this right here is a Boston, should I say, pencil sharpener. It does work and everything. It's pretty cool, $6. I'll probably end up making about 15 to 20 on this deal, maybe. But that's still pretty good, because I do want to get educated on these things, and I did watch a video. So Spokane Pickers, thanks. This is coming straight from the Bonafide Hustler. Pretty cool video you did. Very in detail. I really liked the video that had to do with the pencil sharpeners. But here's one right here. It's really neat. And they've done enough they've done enough market research on it to where it convinced me, like, hey, you know what? When I saw this thing, I had to swing on it. So thanks a lot, guys. Now, if you do watch the Bonafide Hustler videos, you know that I'm into sports jackets and, you know, sports, outdoor sports kind of stuff. So here is a ski jacket that's really tiny, right? Like fat guy in a little coat. Bonafide Hustler here. It's a spider ski jacket for boys. Really neat, and you can see the spider logo because it's got a spider first of all. But they also, this is how they, you know, you can tell the logo right there. Now there's a spider that you see, and of course you see the logo over there too. So if you see that, that's a sure sign that this is pretty quality stuff right here. I like Spider and Descent when it comes to ski jackets or snowboard jackets, whatever you want to call it, but this is a boys one. I picked this thing up for dirt cheap. I can't remember what I picked it up for. I think it was about $6, so I'll hustle that all day long. Alright guys, so if you guys caught my video that right along the last one, which I'll try to link right here, I do pop on an estate sale later on in that video. It's the last thing that I see before I cut the video and I start processing it. But that estate sale was really, really interesting. First of all, you had to show up early to the estate sale and get cards that dictated where you would end up in line when the estate sale started. So the card I picked was number 13. That was great because typically in the past when I show up to estate sales, I mean, I'm usually number 40 or 50, so I decided to go kind of early on this one and pull cards. So check out that video, it's really, really cool. But I ended up being number 13, and I specifically wanted to go to this estate sale to look at these toys called Corgi toys, C-O-R-G-I. Heavily, heavily collectible toys. So, what happened when I went in there? Did I get any Corgi toys? Let's see. Booyah! Got myself a Corgi toy in the box. It does have some paint chips and scratches on it, but this one right here is a Ford Zephyr. So there's the box right there. Pretty neat. You guys want to see the Zephyr? You guys want to see the Zephyr? Okay, so let's go look at the Zephyr. This is what the Zephyr looks like, right here. There we go. Pretty cool little Zephyr. Alright, so before I go into the rest of this stuff, I did spend about $109 of that estate sale. This Zephyr right here cost me $40. I'm experimenting on these Corgi toys, and this is how the Bonafide Hustler does experiments. $40 right here. This one right here is probably going to sell for about $90 to about $110 as it is. Rinky-dinky freaking Corgi toy. It's light, that's great, it ships cheap, and people like it because it has the box. What I really went there for was this thing called a Batmobile and a James Bond Aston Martin Corgi toy. But as you go into an estate sale, there are many rooms. And who's to say where these toys are in what rooms, so I kind of just picked my way through the freaking estate sale and I landed in the pile that had this thing. But this other guy in front of me, God, it was so annoying, went the other way and he ended up finding the Batmobile and the James Bond one. I was so mad. Because that Batmobile one probably would have sold for about $300. It was marked at $60. And the James Bond one, I think, was marked at like $60 as well, and that probably could have fetched about $200 to $500. Yeah, I know. So let's go look at some more Corgi toys that I found. All right, so these are outside of the box. A Corgi, kind of Land Rover Defender, 109 wheelbase tow truck. You know, I think I spent about 10 on this one, and I'll probably end up selling it for about 10 or 20. I know it doesn't sound like, why would you do that, Bonafide Hustler? That's how I experiment. I look for one that's really going to push it to the envelope, which is this one right here. This one will get all the profits back, hopefully, for the entire estate sale if I do it right. After that, everything's just experimenting. Okay, so here, looks like, I believe it's a Citroen, yeah, Citroen Safari. This one's really neat. Has some little gear on the bottom that makes the seats roll up and down in the back. Alright, so this one right here, you know, it's banged up a little bit, but like I said, super highly collectible. I plan to fetch somewhere between maybe 20 and 40 for this Citroen right there. Alright, what else did I find at that estate sale? I put on Facebook this little thing, and I said, guess what it was? Now, do you guys know what this thing is? I know, it looks like a gigantic raisin, but it's not a gigantic raisin. I do love my raisins though. This right here is an actual double end punching bag. When it's all, it goes like this, you know. Alright, so that's what this thing is. Why did I buy it for $5? Because, you know, there are a lot of people in the antique mall, or where my antique booth is, that like weird stuff like this. So this I consider kind of weird. We got a lot of boxing gyms in this town as well. So this might be highly collectible to like a boxing gym dude. Never know. So that's why I pulled trigger on this thing. I'm trying to do a little bit more research and finding some, indicative things on what kind it is. Because if I could figure out what kind it is, it might actually be worth about 40 to 60 bucks. So we'll see. But I expect to maybe sell it for about 20 to 30. All right, little raisin, big raisin. It's a boxing bag. Okay, got this thing for about 15 bucks. And it's probably gonna yield about 25 realistically at the antique booth. Tom Thumb cash register, nothing super collectible. These things are all over eBay. But they're just really neat for some passerby at the antique booth that just like, oh, I don't wanna wait for eBay, I just wanna have it. Could have this one. But yeah, this is also a little bit of an experiment as well. When you're flying through these estate sales and everything, you would think, well, why wouldn't you just pull out your phone, do a completed auctions and all that stuff? That's kind of like the last thing you want to do. When you're flying through these estate sales, you're trying to get as much stuff in your hands as possible that might actually be worth something, okay? So if you do it smart, and if you experiment smart, you can make a little bit of money and learn a whole lot on a lot of items if you do it just the right way. So, all right, Tom Thumb cash register. Okay, so this thing's pretty interesting. A JVC Walkman, Walkman was kind of like the term that Sony made for this whole thing. But here's the JVC one that was actually in this leather kind of case looking thing. He marked it at like $5. Now this thing's beautiful. I love not collecting Walkmans, but I do sell them all the time. I mean, isn't that thing just totally awesome? I mean, look at the colors. Now that's definitely like Back to the Future and Michael J. Fox, Back to the Future 2 kind of stuff. But, with research on this JVC Walkman right here, it's so rare that I can't even find anything like it. So I'm starting to think that maybe this thing could potentially on the low end bring about 40 bucks. And on the high end, if someone absolutely has to have this thing, 100 bucks. Really? So we'll see what happens. Keep you guys updated on that one. Should be really cool. So that kind of does it for that estate sale. What else did I find yesterday? Right here. A cool case for going through airports. This is a Delcy with four rolling wheels. It's a Delcy case. I start seeing a lot of people in airports using this kind of stuff. So Delcy kind of stuff that's hard, like this. That's like technical. Bonafide hustler. He's awesome. Listen to his video. Okay, so this Delcy case is really neat. I actually checked it all out. It looks pretty good. It is missing the key to like the main part of the lock, but it still has a combination lock, so that's really cool. I picked this thing up for about $11, and I expect to sell it, if I decide to, somewhere around 50 to 100 bucks on that Delcy. All right, so one of the last things, I found this Lion, L-Y-O-N, stool. This thing's awesome. I put the sister stool, I guess it was stool kind of looked like this one, at my antique booth already, so it's just sitting over there. I decided to keep this one in my garage because I like sitting on it. That's pretty neat, right? And then it's just really sturdy, but I wouldn't mind selling it as soon as that other one sells. I don't want to clutter up my booth super bad because it actually is cluttered up pretty good. You could theoretically go to my booth and start digging and picking for your own self, but you'll make me money. Anyway, so this is the Lion stuff. Lion stuff is really cool. Take a look for it, and I happen to have, just behind this camera over there, a row of Lion lockers that I picked up like 2 years ago for 30 bucks. And it's like 9 of them. Okay, so there are like 9 lockers that are about, torso tall, and they're super cool. I'll actually put that on a video, but just remember that brand L-Y-O-N, Lion, when you're looking around for things that have to do with industrial use, school use. They're just really big on lockers and stools and desks and stuff like that. Okay, so I hope you liked this video. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to my channel. Always give Bonafide Hustler some good likes. Someone is disliking my videos. That's not cool. So yeah, like, comment, subscribe, and find me on Facebook, The Bonafide Hustler, and Twitter, YouTube Hustler. Stay tuned. I got another good video coming up regarding what you do with piles of stuff when you actually buy them. Something that I do all the time. So you gotta check it out. It's really important, and that's gonna be coming up real soon. Thanks for all the support, guys. Looking forward to an awesome 2013, and we can all celebrate this together. See ya.